May I come in, sir?
Yes, please do.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Divyanshi, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Divyanshi, will you prefer English as your medium of interview?
Yes, sir.
You're comfortable in English?
Yes.
Okay. Right, Divyanshi, you must have noticed that we are taking COVID-19 thing very seriously, and
Yes.
we are taking whatever steps necessary for that.
Yes, sir.
One of the steps is that we have kept your chair at adequate distance so that you feel safe and all of us feel safe, right?
Yes, sir.
You can, and another advantage of keeping the chair that far is that if you choose to remove your mask, you will be feeling safe enough because there is adequate distance, and also you'll be avoiding that fogging thing on the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
glasses. So, if you'd like to remove your mask,
Yes, sir. Yes.
please do.
Thank you, sir.
You're comfortable?
Yes.
Feeling relaxed?
Yes.
Right, let us start then. Divyanshi, to begin with, I want you to introduce yourself to the board members in a manner that your name is not repeated, your caste, your community, other identity markers are not mentioned. Please do.
Sir, I belong to Shahjahanpur and I have done my schooling from there only. And after that, I completed my civil engineering from JSS Academy of Technical Education, Noida. And after that, presently I am teaching as a faculty in a coaching institute for civil services, and at the same time also preparing.
You are a candidate, you are a faculty at a coaching center, though your education is in civil engineering.
Yes, sir.
So, whatever happened to that little piece of paper you got which mentioned that you're a graduate engineer?
Sir, actually presently I felt like I am preparing for civil services only, so I would be able to more involve in that process only, so that's why I opted for this. It is also a sort of like freelancing or sort of activity which I do to support myself financially so that I don't get dependent on family much.
It's not just your choice of job that is baffling, but also your choice of optional. You studied civil engineering, and civil engineering is very much available as one of the optional subject. Why geography and not civil engineering?
So, went through the syllabus for civil services, I realized that if I will take civil engineering as optional, my scope would be limited to optional only. Whereas if I take geography or any other subject, that ways it can help me more in GS and other subjects also. So that's why I took.
Well, your knowledge of geography, my colleagues will be definitely asking you a few questions. But tell me, in geography there is surveying.
Yes.
And so is in civil engineering.
Yes, sir.
Right. What exactly is the difference between surveying in geography and the one in civil engineering?
So in civil engineering, we do surveying more specifically for the purpose of construction or for applied aspect. Like for road construction or other activity, we check the level, whether the field is leveled or not, or these kind of activities, like whether there is water table that is not very much close to the surface. So for that, we do surveying in construction or other activities. And in geology, we mostly do surveying for exploration or for basically understanding the soil quality or minerals. That is more specifically part of geology.
So it is the utility that differs, or the methods also differ?
So I think engineering, we study more applied aspects, whereas
but you just mentioned that in the geography also you're doing it for minerals and all, which is as applicable as the other applied one is.
Yes, sir, but I think in geography that surveying is not very much important as it is in engineering, or it's more of geology.
Divyanshi, have you ever heard of writer Naomi Wolf?
No, sir.
No. Naomi Wolf wrote a book, and her very important area is the beauty myth. You mentioned that in your spare time you help your mother in the beauty parlor thing.
Yes, sir.
What exactly is the beauty myth? Have you heard it?
So beauty myth, in my limited knowledge, I have not exactly heard it, but if you allow me, whatever.
Can you just analyze for us the all women space that one shares when it comes to beauty parlors? How that space, the all women space in the beauty parlor, is different from the rest of the society outside that parlor?
So I didn't got the question.
You didn't, because you couldn't get the idea of beauty myth either. Doesn't matter. Tell me, what is beauty?
So beauty is anything which makes one self-confident. So it is not just external, it can be internal. It is not physical. It can, the notion that we have presently, that mostly society have, that it is mostly exterior, it is mostly physical.
Why is it so that when it comes to women, the idea of feeling comfortable about the body or the confidence has to do with the body and the appearance of the body, while such norms are not really applicable to men?
So I partly agree with this idea. It is not necessary that beauty or the external thing of the body that will help in confidence building or other measures, but the society and the patriarchal setup that is like that, which kind of pushes a person or a woman to think that ways. So that is.
You studied from Noida, you're probably still staying with the Noida. Tell me why the idea of Noida could not be replicated in other parts of the state.
So I think Noida was a planned city when it was made. So whereas in other, so it was deliberately planned in this manner. But other areas.
But other efforts by state government to set up similar industrial townships have not succeeded. Be it Tronica, be it other UPSC IDC projects. Only Noida was such a good success, and it could not be replicated. There must be some other reasons.
So one thing is its nearness to the Delhi capital territory region. That is one reason, and so it is able to attract more investments in the region. Whereas,
can you name the districts that are part of NCR?
So Gurgaon districts that are part of
UP
NCR.
Districts part of NCR.
Sir, Hapur, Meerut, and this Noida and Bulandshahr.
Is Noida a district?
No, sir, Gautam Buddh Nagar.
Fine.
Yes, and so Bulandshahr, Agra, these all come under.
Agra is in NCR or not?
Yes, sir, I guess it is.
So the Mathura must be in the NCR as well. How many districts are there in NCR?
Sir, I exactly don't know.
You don't know. Fine, thank you.
So now you have a unique combination of what geography as well as civil engineering. So what in geomorphology, the two overlapping topic with civil engineering. One is called channel morphology, and the second is called slope analysis.
Yes, sir.
And both you have to read in what civil engineering too. So my first very important question is what, look in channel morphology, we measure the what actually length. Suppose Ganga river, the length we measure is what 2,510 kilometers. So the right person, how we measure? How the length 2,510 kilometers be calculated?
I don't know.
You don't know? Look, it's a very difficult one, and whatever the length we calculated, that is what longitudinal profile from origin to mouth, right?
Yes, sir.
And we take what median point at different locations, and all such median points is going to join by an imaginary line, and that the length of imaginary line is what length of what channel, that is 2,510 kilometers. Otherwise, the north coast and south coast or bank and having a different length.
Yes.
So that very important point. Okay, slope analysis you have to read in both. So we have a slope, concave slope, convex slope, rectilinear, right, and free face. These are the slope. Look, why rectilinear slope is ideal for construction of what roadways and railways.
So rectilinear slope ideal for construction of
roadways, railways, any kind of construction you can do on what? Look, this particular slope. And other slopes, form of slopes, that is what convex, concave, free face, very difficult to be used. Why?
So I think rectilinear slope, it is because of, sir, I exactly don't know.
It is almost a straight line.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that's why construction is quite, because you are right person to what actually ask the question, because both are overlapping. Okay, my next question is related to what rimland theory, you know. In present international relation,
Yes.
Look, there are out of several remote locations, such certain remote locations become very important for Indian foreign policy. Look, India's never first policy is totally based on our what? Remote locations.
Yes, sir.
But we have Pakistan, we have Bangladesh, right?
Yes.
We have what? Sri Lanka, we have Maldives, right? And all having what remote locations, Myanmar remote locations. Out of all, we are focusing maximum this time on Bangladesh. So why suddenly Bangladesh as well as Myanmar emerge a very important remote location in Indian foreign policy, particularly geopolitics? Tell me.
So, with respect to Bangladesh, presently, as Prime Minister Modi went there, I think the trade relations that India is now willing to increase
Look,
with.
geopolitics, location analysis,
Yes, sir.
right? Strategic. What is the strategic importance of what Bangladesh, right, and Myanmar, considering the strategic importance of Northeast? Giving you some clue, please.
So it is one is with respect to China, the debt trap policy that China extends, and kind of it also increasing its presence in the Indian Ocean region, building those ports and the Ring of Pearl policy of China. So developing more infrastructurally or geo-economic and strategic relations with these countries can in a way help in countering.
Okay, look, in which part of geography you consider yourself very comfortable for good conversation? Any part which is specialized?
So agriculture or might be regional.
Yes, agriculture. Look, in agriculture and what? Minerals, resources.
So regional development.
Regional development, very good. Look, we have what actually provisions in our budget, and one of the provisions in our budget is what? Green scheme. So how green scheme in agriculture is going to help a lot to small and marginal farmers of what? Uttar Pradesh. Green scheme, you know?
Oh, sir, I don't. I'm not aware.
Look, recently Government of India has introduced a new bill we call what? New mines and what? Minerals amendment bill, right? Look, this is what going to free captive mines. We have captive as well as non-captive mines. So definition is going to change. All of the mines would be non-captive mines. So how the non-captive mines is going to increase the GDP of India on one hand, or Atmanirbhar Bharat concept on the other hand?
So captive mining and non-captive mining. So it the mining and can be done by the companies, and they can use it for self. Sir, I'm not very sure.
You are not very clear. Very
Yes,
clear.
sir.
You have. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Divyanshi.
Yes.
Divyanshi, you live in Noida and also hails from Shahjahanpur.
Yes, sir.
Where is Shahjahanpur?
So Shahjahanpur is located in the Rohilkhand division in the alluvial plains of Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, adjoining areas, district?
So adjoining districts are Bareilly
Okay.
and Hardoi.
So there is a thermal power project in Shahjahanpur.
Yes, sir.
What's its name?
So Reliance Thermal Power Plant.
Does it call Rosa Thermal
yes,
Power?
Sir. Rosa
also?
Thermal.
Fine. What are those conditions? Availability of the raw materials or anything else? That makes that facilitates this particular plant to be located over there.
So raw material, I think, is imported from other areas.
I'm
It is
asking,
not
what
locally.
were those possible reasons behind establishing this thermal power plant? Because of there is no coal,
Yes.
supplies of the coal things.
So,
Why it has been located in Rosa itself?
So I think it is the availability of cheap labor in the region. One thing is this
Only in
factor, and then
Shahjahanpur?
the policy factor from the government side.
So government has just randomly picked up the site. Okay, let's have a thermal power plant in Rosa, so that would go ahead with this. You are saying exactly.
No, sir. I am not very.
You are not aware.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. What is the connection between Pandit Ram Prasad Bismil and Shahjahanpur?
So Pandit Ram Prasad Bismil, he was initiating the movement freedom movements in 1920s from operating from this region of Shahjahanpur, and particularly he is related with the Kakori Kand, that was related with robbery of that British goods.
So why there is a memory place at Shahjahanpur railway station?
Yes, sir.
There is a place, I want to say, like, where his statue is located over there.
Yes, sir. Ram Prasad Bismil and two others are there, Ashfaqullah Khan and Roshan Singh. So he was one of the important revolutionaries of that time.
That much I know.
Yes, sir.
Anyways,
so he was.
what is Mera COVID Kendra?
I am not.
In Uttar Pradesh, there is an app called Mera COVID Kendra. What it facilitate? What is its intention behind launching this app?
So intention, I am not aware about the app.
You are not aware of this. Fine. There has been Ramsar sites which have been in Uttar Pradesh recently, which have been added. Which are those sites?
So I can remember Sandi in Hardoi, that is one, and
is there any site in Shahjahanpur also?
No, sir.
Noida?
So in Noida, Okhla Bird Sanctuary.
So you there. Can only recall one site.
So Nawabganj is one. Samaspur and.
There is an international bird festival which has recently been observed in Uttar Pradesh. Which district?
So,
not aware of this. $1 trillion economy dream which Uttar Pradesh is visualizing under the current leadership. How it's going to be fulfilled?
So it can be
specific 3 reasons. I'm going to say, like, 3 strategies with which UP government wanted to go with this.
So one thing, agriculturally, UP is important agricultural state. So I think the agriculture sector that needs to be given a boost, and that is why in budget also, in UP budget, there are specific schemes.
What is the role of the Western Uttar Pradesh in this plan of scheme?
So Western Uttar Pradesh mostly is related with commercial crops production and is more developed compared to other parts of the UP. So it will help in more like food processing industries, and the other lead activities can be.
Okay, there is a scheme called ODOP. Are you aware of this?
So one district, one product.
Yes. So if I name Shahjahanpur district, so which product is being there under this scheme?
So carpet is one product that is.
How much you are sure of this fact?
So not very sure.
Not very sure. Right. So.
Okay, Divyanshi, if we look at the current economic health of the country, it appears that we are already in trouble, and it also appears that future is not very bright either. What are the factors apart from COVID-19 that you believe have resulted in such miserable shape of our economy?
So there are largely 4 factors that play a role in economy: labor, land, and capital, and so one more is there. So one is the labor reforms that we are lacking in. Secondly, the land also. There are issues when it comes to infrastructural projects, the bottlenecks that we face when it comes to land acquisition and other activities. So that is one other problem, and then it is the capital. Attracting investment is also an issue, so broadly manufacturing sector, that is the premature withdrawal from industrialization.
Only yesterday the government announced slashing of interest rates on all savings across the board.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it a bad idea to discourage saving?
So it is not a bad idea, but I think key savings, now the consumptions have declined very much, that it is kind of a liquidity trap situation. So
what is liquidity trap situation?
So where government is trying to incentivize people to spend, but people are still holding money to and not investing or not consuming.
So you believe that this reducing of interest will snatch money from people, but will it be available to government to spend?
No, sir. It would be available to public. More money can be made available to public to
So
spend.
people will be forced to withdraw money from their long-term savings like PPF and will spend on buying food.
No, sir. It would not be like that, I guess. So it is not a forceful measure, but it kind of encourages people if they have more money, if like they can. So in that
You
way.
are a faculty in a coaching center.
Yes, sir.
And this coaching industry during pandemic has been suffering like any other industry, maybe a little more. Can you tell me what exactly is the volume, magnitude of this impact of COVID-19 on your industry?
Sir, I think the impact would be more short term. The impact was more visible, where the classes could not be conducted in offline manner. So the physical aspects of the issues, but in broader term or in longer term, with the presence of digital technologies and now more and more institutes they are coming on digital platforms, I think it would not be having that deep an impact.
Fine, Divyanshi, it was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Aye, Divyanshi, take your seat. You're appearing for UPSC as well?
Yes, sir.
Right. पहली attempt है UPSC में?
Sir, no, third attempt.
Interview?
First interview, yes.
Fine, Divyanshi. So tell me, how was it? What are the areas you are comfortable and where you believe that you need to work a bit?
Sir, I think I need to read UP related material more.
In UP interview, it makes sense to prepare your state as well as maybe district. District is not that important, but sometimes in course of your introduction, you may tell them your district, and then some questions may crop up. Otherwise, they don't have your district in general. But it still makes sense to prepare that, right? But UP, you must, right? See, Divyanshi, you're a good candidate. Your personality is good. You carry both your verbal and non-verbal communication. There are a few places where you can calibrate a bit, but otherwise generally you are doing good. Your sitting posture is good. I'm not happy with your listening posture. Your listening posture is like right now. You have this little tilt in your neck and then you lean a bit.
Yes.
It appears as if you're not very formal while you're communicating. My advice would be that appear straight, right? I mean, attentive listening is important, but it should not be very visible in terms of the way you facial expression and the body postures are there, right? So you can be more formal there. Otherwise, generally your voice level is good. Eye contact, I'm happy. Flow is not bad. It's only the hand movement which maybe you can work on.
Okay.
I mean, generally we advise candidates to place your hands like this rather than, I mean, holding your hands or that way, right? That you can work on. Other things, good. As far as the content is concerned, in general, there aren't many areas where you're clueless. But on most things you know what is being talked about. So but whatever time you have, use that judiciously to revise a few things. Other things, generally I am happy. UP you have to see, at a few places you need to have a little more energy, a little smile here and there. Other things usually good. When it comes to abstract or analytical things, maybe a little more effort will help. Maybe it will be more useful when the UPSC things come, but even in this interview you can try your hand on analyzing more abstract things whenever such a things is presented to you. Other things I am really good. I believe that you are doing good. हाथ बांध कर बैठने से थोड़ा सा बचना है, ठीक है ना? बाकी चीजें अच्छी हैं. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Sir, and one question. Do I need to read geography, like particularly for UP interview?
देखिए, there's no syllabus of interview in general, but it is your optional paper.
Yes, sir.
So and need to understand from this side of the table, they don't have many things about you. Your def is not there. The only thing they know about you is your optional.
Yes.
Right. So it's very likely that they'll be forced to put a few questions. There cannot be a syllabus, so it can be anything in geography. It can be a layman's perspective or it can be a specialist perspective. So whatever time you have, as I said, use it judiciously to revise a bit, especially in your optional, right?
Thank you.